Well, a very, very good evening. I can say that because I am the only one here at present. So, here in New Jersey, South Jersey to be exact, it is evening. It's 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. It is the first Sunday night of August. This is August 3rd, 2025. And this is Material Issues, episode number 215. 215. Wow. I'm going to talk about material issues a little bit tonight, but you might be wondering where's the co-host? Where's the guy who's usually over there? Well, David Bash is currently at the Redwood Bar in Los Angeles. He is doing IPO LA, which runs for 9 or 10 days, I guess. He's on night number 2 or 3, but David is at the Redwood Bar, IPO LA. And you know how that works when we do live cut-ins to David somewhere, usually at the Cavern Club in Liverpool. But tonight, David will be cutting in with some live interviews with artists who are playing or have just played at the Redwood Bar, his International Pop Overthrow, Los Angeles. So at any moment, this nice, comfortable chat we're having with just myself, Mark Hershberger of Pop Detective Records, says it right there on the screen, and whoever's watching, could be interrupted by David and noise and saying hello and grabbing one of the artists that are nearby and doing an interview. So that's what's going to happen tonight. I'm going to hang out here.
Right now.
Oh, there you go.
And now I got to figure out how to turn the camera around. Oh,
Turn
damn,
your
I don't know
audio
how. So I'm just gonna do this. All right, everybody. Yeah. Let's try it. This is not working the way I want. Well, we'll do it volume wise. Everyone say hi to Mark Hershberger, my co-host.
Hey,
Here, we're here at the Redwood Bar for the International Pop Overthrow Festival. And we just heard the band The Living Dolls, who are wonderful. And coming up next, we have a band all the way from Memphis, as Martha Hubel would say. I think some other people are here from there, too. If you're a big Beach Boys fan, you'll know the origin of their name. Up next, the Sonny Wilsons. Stick around.
as you can see, that's David live from the Redwood Bar in Los Angeles. It's IPO Los Angeles, International Pop Overthrow.
I'm not
He
sure.
still hasn't figured out how to work this
Hold
stuff.
on. What is... This thing's not... All right. It's not shrinking. Oh, there it is. That's what she
It's
said.
not shrinking.
Why isn't it shrinking?
David has that problem. It's not shrinking. That's
Did,
what happens when you have too much Viagra.
Did you guys catch any of that?
Yeah, I caught the audio. You were trying to
All right,
flip
good.
it around.
Well, you know what? Let's get the talent buyer of the club on, Eddie Lopez. I don't know why this is not cooperating, but we'll try it this way. Hey, Eddie. This is
Eddie
Mark
Lopez.
Hershberger from Material Issues, my co-host of my podcast.
Hey, how's it going? Happy Sunday.
Hey, happy Sunday. Nice to see you, my friend. Welcome to Material Issues Live. We are going live right now.
I don't know if he heard you.
Right on.
All right. You're the talent buyer there, eh?
Say it again.
Yes, sir.
Oh,
You're the very nice. So
yeah. This
so
is
why do you have
our fourth year doing the shows here at Redwood Bar, and I'm just very, very thankful to Eddie for having us. We always have a great time here, and the food is amazing.
nice? Well, anybody who's watching from the LA area and doesn't know it, IPO Los Angeles is going on right now at the Redwood Bar. So if you need to get up from wherever you're at and go to the Redwood Bar, you can have dinner there. Food is amazing, and you've got a lot of great talent going to play a stage this evening. So head out to the Redwood Bar, Los Angeles, IPO Los Angeles. Fantastic.
Thanks, Mark.
Indeed.
All right. Well, that was. Thank you so much for that. All right. So I'm gonna sign off. When the Sonny Wilsons come on, I may get back on. But there's one particular song I want a video. My favorite song on the IPO CD, which happens to be theirs, called Miss Kinetic. So We'll figure it all out as we go.
Yeah, start playing with your camera so you can figure out how to turn the camera around.
I don't know. Yeah, that's so weird. I'm not sure how to do it. Remove from stage, solo layout, edit. Yeah, I don't know.
It doesn't say anything about like camera and says change camera lens.
It probably does somewhere. I'm just not sure where.
Okay.
I'm on that. I'm not going
Well,
there.
Thank you,
it's
Caitlin.
going to be very organic. David will pop in and out as he pleases, and we'll have a good time. No matter what.
Actually, let's get Caitlin on. This is my podcast, Material Issues, and Caitlin Wolfberg she was part of the ensemble that played with Ruth Ann Friedman, who wrote the song "Windy" that the association, of course,
The
had a big hit.
association.
This is Mark Hershberger, my co-host on Material
Hello.
Issues.
How you doing?
Good to see you. Good to see
She's an
you.
amazing violin player.
Sometimes. Thanks.
I'm trying to figure out though who's taller, her or Rena. I don't know.
Oh,
It's
how
close.
tall's Serena?
She's 5 even.
Yeah, me too.
Okay.
There you
Yeah.
They're the same.
And I'll start to shrink eventually, right?
Hi.
Yeah.
Rena's already started, I think.
Yeah. I don't know where I'm at yet.
Anyway, thank you so much
Thank you so
again.
Nice to see you.
Pleasure. This last band was awesome.
Weren't they good?
That
Yeah.
was so fun.
Yep.
All right.
All right. Thanks
ya.
so much, people.
IPO.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you.
Nice outdoor tiki area there.
Yeah, for sure. Well, the venue has a pirate motif. I'll bring you in since. Oh, come on out. Yeah. Thank you. So it's got a complete pirate motif. Tables in the back.
Nice.
See what else we got. Yeah, so. Yeah, it's a really cool room, and like I said, the food is amazing here. Yeah. I'm gonna see if I can get Josh Gordon from the Living Dolls to come out. Hold on. Josh, can we do a little interview for my podcast?
Absolutely.
Let's come outside. Come on outside because it's too loud in here. All right, so we're gonna get Josh Gordon from the Living Dolls, who just played to a wonderful crowd and did an amazing set. So let's see. Let's get us out here where it's. All right. Yes, so we've got now Josh Gordon, the main man of the Living Dolls, who play IPO many years. This is Mark Hershberger from Material Issues.
Hi, Mark. Nice to
Nice
meet
to
you.
see you. Nice to meet you, Josh. Yeah, good to see you. Having a good time at IPO Los Angeles at the Redwood, eh?
It's always awesome. It really is something that's pretty incredible, and super happy and proud to be a part of it for so long.
Oh, thank
Well,
you.
We've already heard people
They're a great
outside
power
talking
pop
about
band.
you, yeah.
Sorry?
I said we've already heard from some people outside talking about how good your set was.
Oh,
So,
nice. I'll take it.
It's already moving around. Very good. Yeah. Yeah. Good to see you.
So what
What's
do you
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was just going to say, so how's everything where you are?
I'm over here in South Jersey, so it's a beautiful day in New Jersey.
Oh,
That's
wow.
what we cover both coasts, East Coast and West Coast.
Very nice.
Yeah.
It's very exciting to be here.
It's very good. Have you played the festival before?
Many times.
Many times? Yeah.
All over the city.
Well, you
You
got
know what we need to do is get the Living Dolls out to Liverpool at the
There you
Cavern
go.
Club,
There you
which
go.
would be an experience you
That
would
would
never
be
forget.
amazing. I can't
Think you
even
could do it if I invited you?
I don't know.
Well, we'll
As broke musicians, we're
yeah.
trying to. Touring is a difficult expense.
Well, we
Yeah.
can always start a Kickstarter campaign and say, get the
Yes.
Living Dolls to
Yes,
Liverpool.
I'm down for that. I'm absolutely down. Send the dolls to Liverpool.
It's funny. One of the bands who hasn't played IPO for a while did a campaign to send the band to Liverpool, and they raised money and they went. Blake Jones and the Trike Shop did that
Oh,
several
nice.
years ago.
Nice.
Incredible.
So it can work.
It can happen.
Yeah.
Things can come.
They can.
Josh, where did the name Living Dolls come from?
I think, are you guys leaving? So good to see you. I'm sorry. This is our keyboard
ahead.
player, Chris.
Yes, hey Chris,
Chris.
thank you so
Chris
much.
was the guitar player for 2020. On the
Really?
first two
Oh my
albums.
God, that's Chris Solange then.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
I play here every year.
I know, but I didn't know.
It was no, that's okay.
Wow. Well, it's an honor to meet you, Chris Solange, right?
Yeah, yeah.
From 2020. The
Wow.
original 2020.
Well, yeah, original, very original.
And are you on your way out?
I'm on my way out, but yes, it was a lovely time. I almost hurt my keyboards.
Okay.
Yeah, it was good. It's a lovely place. I love the Redwood.
It's great.
It's fun.
It's
fun.
great.
And you were on fire tonight, son.
I thought the band was doing okay.
Yeah.
We're on a podcast now.
Oh,
A Power Pop podcast.
Oh,
Yeah, it's my podcast, Material Issues. It's my co-host, Mark Hershberger. So
You're live on the air.
this is amazing that, well, thank you so much
thank
for
you.
that,
Thank you.
first
Well, we'll see you next year.
amazing album. I hope so. Thanks.
Okay, good. I'll talk to you later.
Wow.
Oh, we got John Borak here.
Who?
You all know him.
Hello, Mark. I can't hear you, but I can see you.
Mr.
looks like
Borak. Good to see you, John.
Oh, it's good to be seen, Mark. It's a great day here at IPO. Living Dolls just killed it up there.
What I heard.
Dan Friedman was very cool too, and looking forward to more this evening.
Absolutely.
Very nice. Very
Yeah,
nice.
in fact, John will be playing at 8:00 with the Dons. You might remember the Dons who had the
Of
album
course.
Dawn of the Dons
Yep.
long ago. Yeah, John joined them in their midst, and when they play, which isn't often, you'll always see him up there. So
Nice.
we're looking forward to that too. But I better go back in, make sure the next band starts on time, and I'll be back on when I can.
Have a great one. Enjoy.
Thanks, Mark. Bye-bye.
Well, there you have it. Like I said, you never know when David's going to pop in or out because this is truly live podcast. And it's also live from the Redwood Bar in Los Angeles, where David is hosting his International Pop Overthrow Festival, Los Angeles. So he's going to be back and forth with a couple interviews as the night goes on. I'm just going to hang out here by myself. So if anybody decides to pop on and wants to send me a message in the comments or the chats, please do. I'd love to hear about you. While we're hanging out, I have a couple things I'm going to do tonight. I'm going to talk about the history of material issues. This is episode number 215, which is, boy, it's pretty amazing when you think about it. I was writing down some notes. Well, 215, that's my old area code when I used to live in Kutztown, Pennsylvania. Yes, Kutztown, Pennsylvania, the home of the defunct Kutztown, Pennsylvania Folk Festival, or Pennsylvania Dutch Festival, or whatever. There was some festival that replaced it this year. I forget what they call it, though. It was, I don't know, it was something. But, yes, that was my area code. So it's nice to have episode number 215. But I was looking back at some of the history of material issues, and our first episode we did live on May 19th, 2021. I remember, February, March of 2020 when the pandemic hit. And then, of course, as that year went on, 2020, everything was shutting down and nobody was traveling. And, David had to stop doing the International Pop Overthrow festivals everywhere. Everybody was wearing a mask and wasn't allowed to go out or afraid to go out. And I remember early in 2021, David was really just he was kind of holed up in his house, and what's he going to do? He just seemed a little restless and bored. And I said, why don't we just start this we'll do a live podcast thing, and we'll talk about our love of power pop and pop culture and maybe some baseball. We'll just hang out. And that's what we did. May 19th of 2021 was episode number 1. I went back and I watched it, and we had connection problems, and we were just goofing off, and it was what it was. Excuse me one second. I just stepped on a pen that fell down here. But we got episode number 1 down, and we thought, we'd do a couple episodes, and we would just talk about stuff. And we never really intended to have any guests. It wasn't something where we start off by saying, well, let's do this interview thing. We'll bring guests on and we'll talk about their music and we'll talk about their hit. Well, that was never part of the original plan. And then a couple episodes in, I think after the third episode, David actually got back to me and he said, "Listen, I got somebody who might want to come on and just be a guest, and you want to try having a guest?" And I said, "Sure, why not?" And our fourth episode number 4, we had the opportunity to have Sal Maida join us. And if you recognize that name, Sal played bass in Sparks. He played bass in Roxy Music. He played with Milk and Cookies. I mean, the guy, legendary in power pop circles. And also, sadly, we've had a few of our guests on Material Issues pass away over the years. And Sal passed away earlier this year, February 1st, 2025. So having him on the show in 2021 was very special to archive his story. And rest in peace, Sal. It was an actual honor and privilege to have you on Material Issues, our first guest on Material Issues. And if you didn't get to see that or any of the previous 214 episodes, I encourage you to please go to materialissues.com. I'm going to run that across the bottom. Materialissues.com. That takes you to our YouTube channel. Now, on the YouTube channel, you see videos and shorts. And what you want to do is click on the button that says live. And even though it's not live, that's just the videos that we actually recorded live. And you'll find all 215 with tonight's episode. 215 episodes are right there on Material Issues. And please, David and I talk about it all the time. We really don't do this for any kind of notoriety. We make no money on it whatsoever. In fact, it costs money to have StreamYard and whatnot. But we do it to archive the stories of a lot of these great artists from the 60s, 70s, into the 80s, even some present day artists. So we don't have that many subscribers on YouTube. We have 2,000 subscribers on our Facebook page, but we'd like to have a lot more on YouTube. So if you haven't subscribed on YouTube, please do, and please share the channel, materialissues.com. Share it with your friends. Tell them if they haven't seen this wonderful interview program, get on over there and look at it. So Sal Maida was our first guest in episode number 4, and that worked out so well. I mean, the very next week we had Jeff Whalen of legendary LA power pop band Czar. And then we had our good friend Lisa Michaels, a musician, wonderful musician in her own right, some few wonderful albums and with some bands that she's played with. That was episode number 6. And we followed that right away with the incredible Fernando Perdomo, who has produced everyone and played with every other band. He's just one of those magic people. We had him on episode number 7. So it went from, let's just goof around a little bit to let's get a guest. And then we got more guests, and it just kind of ballooned from there. So over the next 200 plus episodes, we've had tons of guests. I mean, we've had a lot of great guests. I can't even say that any guest has not been great. There have been those with a little more notoriety, a little more fame, a little more or longer backstory. And we've had incredible talks with a lot of those people. But far too many people to actually talk about right now. But I'd like to give you a little bit of a rundown if you aren't familiar with all the archived shows. And again, across the bottom, materialissues.com. We'd really appreciate if you went over there and subscribed. It would help us out a lot. But we've had Henry Priestman from one of my favorite bands, the Yachts and the Christians, on episode number 11. Very popular episode. You can look at the analytics, but our interview with Jason Faulkner, who's had a wonderful solo career, and he's played with Jellyfish and with Beck. He was on episode 13. Frank Hammersland, one of my all-time favorite artists, as a solo artist, as a member of Pogo Pops and Popium. Again, here's another one of our former guests who passed away. He passed away in January of 2023. Amazing artist. He was on episode number 16. Honor to have him. Our good friend Robbie Rist from the Brady Bunch and the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movies, and of course, multiple music projects. He was on episode 26. We've had George Boyder from the Head Boys, another one of my favorite bands from 1979-80 era. Again, George is one of our former guests who has passed away. He passed away September of 2022, but he was on episode number 27. And yes, every once in a while we do mix it up. It's not all music. So episode number 30, we had Sharon Gabbett, who is a soap opera star from the soap opera The Edge of Night. What a wonderful guest she was on episode number 30. And it goes on and on and on. My good friend Frank Sesich, who's on my label with the Deadbeat Poets, but also was in Blue Ash and the Steve Bader's band, the Latter Day Dead Boys. He was on episode 31. We had, I think David and I both agree that one of our strangest episodes was having Dwight Twilley on the show. Now, Dwight Twilley, of course, legendary power pop artist with his Dwight Twilley band. And again, he's a former guest of ours that has passed away. He passed away in October of 2023. But you have to check it out. If you haven't seen that episode, it's episode 36, and you'll see why it was a very strange episode. But still an honor to have Dwight on the show. Gilbert O'Sullivan, massive individual artist with tons of top 10 tracks. What a pleasure it was to have Gilbert O'Sullivan on the show for episode 39. Jim Babjack, the Jersey Boys, the Smithereens. What an incredible guitarist! What an incredible band! Of course, they're still going strong with many guest artists, lead singer. I think right now John Cowsill is doing the lead vocals for the Smithereens, but Jim Babjack was on episode 42. We did shift it a bit. On episode number 46, we had Blackjack McDowell on the show. And for those who are unfamiliar, he was Major League Baseball pitcher and won the Cy Young Award, the highest individual pitching award in baseball. We had him on the show. He also happens to be a pretty darn good musician. And that was at episode 46. And for anybody just joining me, and you're saying, where's your co-host? Well, David is going to be live. He'll pop in and out. He's doing International Pop Overthrow Los Angeles at the Redwood Bar in LA right now. He was on earlier in the show. We had a couple interviews. We said hi to our good friend John Borak. But you never know when he's going to pop in and out with some live interviews. So I'm just kind of talking about the history of Material Issues, the podcast. And I'm going to play some Scandi Pop here in a little bit. But David is live. And again, as I said, if you haven't gone over to materialissues.com, which is the YouTube channel, and looked at any of the archives, please do that and subscribe while you're there, or send a link telling all your friends this is a great podcast that you should be subscribed to. So, yes, we had Blackjack McDowell, former Major League Baseball Cy Young Award winner, and then we had Billy Palicelli and Steve Cooper. It was the first time we actually had two guests on at the same time, and they're from one of my all-time favorite bands, Artful Dodger. They were on episode number 49. We followed that with another great duo, Cardi Wilson of Wilson Phillips, and of course the late great Brian Wilson's daughter, and her husband Rob Bonfiglio of Wanderlust fame. And of course Rob's played with various Beach Boys incarnations, super talented musician. But they're a married couple, and they joined us for episode number 50 of Material Issues. George Bunnell, you might say, who was that? But boy, if you're of my age or a little older, and I mentioned the Strawberry Alarm Clock, you will smile. And remember the psychedelic days of the mid to late 60s. George Bunnell was on the show, episode number 58. Then we kind of switched up a little bit again, and we had Steve Young. No, not the former 49ers quarterback, but Steve Young, who was a writer on The Late Show with David Letterman. And he always did these special appearances where he'd bring out these industrial music albums that he would find, in little record shops and thrift shops and things like that. And he wrote a book on industrial musicals, and he also was part of Bathtubs Over Broadway, which was a documentary on industrial musicals. That was a fascinating show, and if you haven't seen our episode number 62, check that out. Steve's been acting in a number of short films, a few award-winning short films and short film festivals. Just a great guy, and it was an absolute pleasure to have him on the show. After that, we had our first three guests, not 33, but three guests, So we had a time we had two guests on the show. This was a thrill. We had Susan, Bob, and Paul Calsill of the legendary Calsills, The Rain, the Park, and Other Things, Indian Lake, Hair. So many great tunes. They joined us for episode number 69, and what a wonderful episode that was. Then we followed that up. Robin Lane and the Chartbusters. She joined us for episode number 73. What a great time that was as well. And for anybody just checking in, this is Material Issues, and we are live. I'm Mark Hershberger, Pop Detective Records, and you might say, where is the guy that's usually over here? Where's David Bash? Well, David is currently live at IPO Los Angeles at the Redwood Bar. He's popping in and out of the show tonight. He's going to have some interviews. He's going to talk to some of the bands that are just coming off the stage. He'll even pop on to introduce some bands, but that's really going to happen whenever. I don't even know when it's happening. I'll be talking away, and boom, he'll be on the show. So if you want to see what IPO Los Angeles looks like from the Redwood Bar, hang out with me. Drop me a comment. Tell me you're here. Say hello. I'll be glad to talk live with you here on the show. But I'm just going over the history of Material Issues and talking about a lot of the guests that we've had on here. If you haven't seen any of the other archives, the other 214 shows, go to materialissues.com, which is scrolling across the bottom. And that's our YouTube channel. And on the tabs, you'll see a tab that says Live. If you click on that, that actually brings up the entire 214 archived episodes, and you can watch any of those episodes at your leisure. But we really would appreciate if you subscribe to the website, the YouTube channel. Really helps us out. We don't have a lot of subscribers on YouTube. We have 2,000 subscribers on Facebook, but not much on YouTube. But yeah, we had Frank Jekyll on the show for episode number 76. Who is Frank Jekyll? Well, the 1910 Fruit Gum Company, a great late 60s band that had so many great hits, very bubblegum pop, and he was an awesome guest. We followed that up with Brendan Benson, legendary pop musician, show number 80. My good buddy, Rocky Burnett, he came and joined us for episode 81, but he couldn't get his video to work, so it's an audio. Well, David and I had video, but we heard him via audio. Rocky is the son of legendary rockabilly artist Johnny Burnett and the Rock and Roll Trio. But then Rocky came out 1980 and had his top 10 hit, Tired of Towing the Line. Baby, I'm tired of towing the line. I just love that track, love that album, and he joined us. Rocky's not doing well. Rocky is in hospice, and I'm sure he wouldn't mind me saying his days are numbered. I've been in contact with him almost weekly for the last 2 years, and that contact is starting to disappear because he can no longer answer the phone. But wish you the best, Rocky. But he joined us on episode 81. Another one of my dear friends, Terry Draper, musician, but better known as the drummer in Klaatu. He's also had a million solo albums, and he's one of the former guests who passed away. Terry just passed away in May of this year, May 15th. He was on episode 87, which was a great episode to talk with Terry and all his memories of Klaatu. But a very good friend of mine, love to his family, especially his wife, Anna. This is a tough time. But then we followed Terry up with one of our most popular episodes. We had Dave Gregory of XTC. He was on episode number 91. See, if you if you haven't checked out the archives on materialissues.com, you'd never know we've had all these fantastic guests, and you got to check it out. Go to materialissues.com, subscribe, tell all your friends. Dave Gregory of XTC, one of my all-time favorite bands. And right after that, we had Jackie Fox on the show. Jackie Fox, one of the original Runaways. She joined us for episode number 92. Of course, the Runaways included Joan Jett, Cherie Curry, who else? Lita Ford, of course, and their big hit, Cherry Bomb. But Jackie's also been on some game shows. She's quite the trivia buff. But after Jackie, we had Brian Ray on the show, episode number 94. Brian Ray, of course, is the one of the two guitarists next to Paul McCartney in his band, has been touring with Paul for many, many years. That was a wonderful episode. After that, episode 99, we followed that with Deborah Ayal. I got her on the show because in the early to mid 80s, I was known to frequent a lot of dance clubs, especially up in New York, from the Peppermint Lounge to a place called Danceteria, which had 4 or 5 floors. I forget anymore, but one of the great dance numbers that we used to dance to was a band called Romeo Void with "I Might Like You Better If We Slept Together," and then they followed that up with another hit. Their next album, "A Girl in Trouble," is a girl in trouble is a temporary thing. Gosh, I just lost my mind for a second. Shows how old I'm getting. But a girl in trouble is a temporary thing. Anyway, Deborah Ayal, what a great guest she was on episode number 99. And then, our show is named after the band Material Issue. And we had 2 of the 3 members of Material Issue on episode number 110, Ted Ansari and Mike Zelenko. Great members of Material Issue. It was so great to have them on our show. If you're just checking in live and you don't know where David is, well, David is at IPO Los Angeles right now. He's live at the Redwood Bar. He's popping in and out of the show here tonight with some live interviews with artists, either just going onto the stage where he's introducing them or as they come off the stage. So if you're interested in seeing any of those interviews and seeing what the Redwood Bar LA is all about, David is live and he does pop in, but I don't know when he's going to do it. So I'm just kind of hanging out, talking about the history of Material Issues. I'm going to play some Scandinavian pop music, some of my favorite stuff momentarily. We had John Lazar. I say most of our guests were music related, which is kind of what David and I's our wheelhouse. But every once in a while, we had a couple of Major League Baseball players on the show, and we've had some actors on the show, some authors. John Lazar we had on the show. He was episode number 112. Another really cool episode. If you haven't seen it, go to materialissues.com, the live tab, and you can find all 214 episodes there. But John Lazar was the main actor in the early 70s. I don't know what you call it, sexploitation type film. But Beyond the Valley of the Dolls, it is a huge cult favorite film of a lot of people. And he was on our show for episode number 112. Then there we go. Then we really got off the rails. And I guess you would call her an actress athlete, but we had Lori Fetrick on episode number 117. And what a wonderful episode that was. She was one of the original American Gladiators, if you remember when that show came on. And we got her on the show, and she talked all about, how real that show was and how many injuries there were and what it was to be an actual gladiator on that show. Awesome episode 117. Then one of my favorite episodes, they're all my favorites, so it's hard to really pick them out because we've had so many great guests. But episode number 120, it's because I grew up watching this guy on not only listening to the radio, but watching him on variety shows. But we had Jim Stafford on episode number 120. And, one song that always takes me right back to my youth is Spiders and Snakes. I don't like spiders and snakes, but that ain't what it takes to love me. like I want to be loved by you. That's Jim Stafford. And he was on the show talking about his, you know, his career, his fascinating career. He actually invited me to his house in Florida next time I visit my daughters for lunch. Got to remember to take him up on that. Then in one of the legendary power pop artists, we had the show Roger Joseph Manning Jr., episode number 121. Of course, Roger of the amazing band Jellyfish. He's done a lot of things since then, but that was a great interview. Another great interview. Episode number 129, we had Jules Alexander and Jim Yester of the Association. Never My Love, Windy. And now you want to talk about that. The woman, Ruth Ann Friedman, who wrote Windy for the Association, just finished performing at IPO Los Angeles at the Redwood Bar tonight, where David is right now. So isn't that funny? I'm just talking about, Jules Alexander and Jim Yester being our guest on episode number 129. And one of their biggest hits, Windy, written by a woman named Ruth Ann Friedman, she just played acoustically at the Redwood Bar, IPO Los Angeles, where David is right now. We followed that. Episode number 143, we had David Payton on. Of course, the member of Pilot. And everybody, well, you might not know David Payton. He was original Bay City Roller. But you might not know the name Pilot immediately. But if I started singing, oh, 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 it's magic, then you would know Pilot. We had David Payton on episode number 143. Then we did another 360. We had an actor, Terrence Winkless, on episode number 152. And you might say, who the heck was Terrence Winkless? Well, these are things that you only find here on Material Issues. Terry was the person in the bingo suit. Bingo of the banana splits. What a cool interview that was. Episode number 152. If you grew up in the mid to late 60s and you were a fan of the banana splits, 1 banana, 2 banana, 3 banana, 4 bananas, flipping like a horse, bingo, drooper, and snork. There you go. Well, Terrence was the guy inside the bingo suit. How cool was that episode? After that, another noteworthy episode 160, we had Danette Thayer of Game Theory. Man, if you're a fan of Game Theory, Danette was something else, and still is something else. Fascinating interview, episode number 160. Then we had another great one on 177, Mike Scavone of the Doughboys, but also of Ram Jam, and currently touring the world in the Yardbirds. That was a great interview. And if you missed any of these interviews, I'm scrolling across the bottom, materialissues.com. That takes you to our YouTube channel, where all these episodes, all 214 episodes we've done, are archived. If you go to materialissues.com, right across the top, you see a couple tabs. One of them says live. Well, if you click on that, it actually shows you all of the live shows that are archived. 214. You can go back and watch any of our shows right there. But we implore you, please subscribe it at materialissues.com. Share the website, your YouTube channel with all your friends. Let them know that this is the coolest place for interviews. We'd really, really appreciate it. Appreciate you doing that. After Mike Scavone, we had Ron Flint and Steve Allen of the legendary Power Pop LA band 2020. They were on episode number 180. Wow. And then we had something really cool. Laurie Kay. She's an author and a writer. And you say, who is Laurie Kay? Well, she's the last person to have ever interviewed John Lennon the night before he was killed. And she wrote a book on it, and fascinating interview with her. Just what it was like to sit there face to face with John Lennon and Yoko Ono, and to have been the last person to have interviewed them before the tragedy. Great interview, episode number 181. One of my favorites, Rick Corcoran, such a great psych pop band, the Orgone Box. He was on episode number 183. Just loved it. If you love psychedelic pop, if you were a fan of the Orgone Box, Rick and his wife turned out to be just a wonderful couple on air. Well, great interview. I highly recommend you check that one out. And if you remember that great 70s hit, Magnet and Steel, Mr. Walter Egan was our guest on episode number 195. You are a magnet, I am steel. Great song, takes me right back as well. Yeah, he was on, Walter Egan was with us, episode number 195. We had Josie Davis. We had an actress on episode number 196 from Charles in Charge. Yes, the Scott Baio show. Josie was relatively young in that show, which means she's still relatively young and very, very good looking these days. But it was interesting to get her a little take. It was a shortened episode. She couldn't give us too much time, but she did give us about half an hour on episode number 196. Then it had another absolute thrill for episode 204, another married couple. We had Vicki Peterson and John Calsill. Vicki Peterson of the Bangles, John Calsill of the Calsills. But they're a married couple with a brand new album out, and they joined us on episode 204, and that was a lot of fun. So we've had so many great guests, and those are just ones I'm kind of highlighting, but there were so many more that you may not be familiar with on the surface if I mention their name, but if you watch the episode and you find out who they really were and who they were a part of, you'll really dig it. So I was doing a little bit of calculations. This will be episode I'm doing right now, 215. 153 of those episodes we have had guests. That's 71% of all our episodes have included a guest. That's pretty damn cool, if you ask me. And we've just had such a great time. And I think David and I, we love to do it. We do this because it's so much fun. And we get to talk to some amazing people. We get to archive their stories. We're grateful for the Facebook page. The Material Issues group has 2,000 members. That's awesome. But we'd really like to transfer a lot of that over to the YouTube station. We don't make a dime on this show. We're not really looking to make a dime. It sure would be nice to at least cover the expenses, which is, it's not cheap to actually have this space on Streamyard and do some of the things that we do. But you can help us out by subscribing at materialissues.com and tell all your friends, please. It doesn't cost you anything. Just go on over and subscribe, and you hit that little bell, which tells you. And subscribing doesn't really do anything. We send one email out a couple of days prior to Sunday, usually on Friday, which tells you what's going on the Sunday night show. It also tells you if the show is going to run at a different time. Normally, our Sunday night show runs at 8 o'clock, but we'll let you know if it's running earlier. Tonight, it runs at 7 o'clock because David is live from the Redwood Bar in Los Angeles, doing International Pop Overthrow Los Angeles right now. He will be popping in, I don't know when, from time to time to possibly have an interview with an artist that is just coming off the stage. But that's it. I just wanted to talk about a number of guests that we've had over the years. This is over 4 years now. This is episode number 215. So it's quite a lot of years, quite a lot of episodes that we've had here in Material Issues. And we appreciate the people who hang out and watch these shows. We appreciate everybody that has subscribed, not only or joined the Facebook group, but has subscribed on YouTube. We've got a lot of cool stuff coming up. I could talk briefly about that right now. David's at IPO Los Angeles at the Redwood Bar right now, live. He'll be live again next Sunday, August 10th. And then August 17th, we'll probably go live from International Pop Overthrow San Diego. And then after that, we get back to kind of some normal shows with David in his studio in Reseda, California. So August 24th, we're going to go with round 2 of Chris Stamey of the DBs. Round 1, we were just getting into it and having some fun, but Chris was getting hit hard. He's in North Carolina. He was getting hit hard with the huge storm coming up from Texas. And as we were having the interview, a tree fell and hit his house. Things were going crazy. So it was like, no, go take care of your house and be safe, and we'll have you back on with your brand new album. And so we've rescheduled Chris Stamey of the DBs for August 24th. And after that, we're going to go back to an author. On August 31st, we have a woman named Jude Warren. She's a biographer, a rock and roll biographer, as her website calls her. But she's done some books on Boz Scaggs and on the band America. So she'll be joining us August 31st, right here on Material Issues. All those times so far, well, we'll see. Maybe next week in the IPO San Diego might be 7 o'clock start times. But the Chris Stamey and Jude Warren episodes, I believe, will stick to our 8 o'clock Eastern time on Sunday night start time. Again, as I said, David is in Redwood Bar, IPO Los Angeles, right now live, and he's going to probably pop in at any given time to talk. So in the interim, I'm going to play some tracks that I love from Scandinavian artists that you may not be familiar with. We like to play tracks on our show whenever we have time. But tonight, I'm very big on Scandinavian pop music. It never used to be that way. And much of what I love are artists that most people here, especially here in the States, have never heard of. It's kind of being big in Norway or Sweden or Denmark is kind of like being big in New Jersey. It's not that big. And many times these artists don't get heard over here in the States. But I was adopted, for those who don't know, but I was adopted at almost a year old, and it was all good. Had no real information on my past, but many years ago, a good friend of mine out of Toronto, musician Luke Jackson, started sending me these compilation CDs, which had all Scandinavian artists, Norway, Sweden, Denmark, on there, and I just fell in love with everything. It just clicked. Something just went off in my head, and I became a rabid fan of all things pop and rock and roll and power pop, or sunshine pop out of Scandinavia. And I followed that up with actually when Pennsylvania opened up their birth records. I did get my original birth certificate, and I was able to, long story short, do a lot of research. It turns out, DNA-wise, my birth father was Scandinavian. He was Danish from Denmark. So I had that on that side of me. So no wonder I had an affinity for Scandinavian pop music. So and still do to this day. I'm always looking for great Scandi artists. But let's if David pops up while this is playing, we'll just fade this out and we'll talk to David live. But for now, here's one of my favorite bands out of Norway. This band was Frank Hammersland's follow-up to the legendary Pogo Pops. This is one of my favorite bands called Popium. This is from their debut album, self-titled Popium. Popium was kind of a super group. You had Frank Hammersland of Pogo Pops. You had Yngve Sætre. He played keyboards. He was with Barbie Bones. He also produced the Dum Dum Boys, the Kaiser Orchestra. Frode Underland played drums. He was in Chocolate Overdose. Christer Ottosson, I've met him a couple of times over the years. He plays bass, and he also played with this great band called Flair. Saw them at IPO Liverpool. And then Martin Holmes was on guitar. So this is a track called Favorite Blunders by Popium. Right here on Material Issues, David Bash, IPO, Redwood. Favorite blunders? Papium. That was Favorite Blunders by Papium. Yeah, Papium, one of my favorite Norwegian bands. Again, that was Frank Hammersland. He was a guest on our show a couple years ago. Sadly, Frank has passed away 2 years ago in January, and we do miss him. But he had a very popular Norwegian band called Pogo Pops. They had a number of hits in Norway. Number of albums, all fantastic. And then when they kind of went their separate ways, he formed Papium, which was kind of a super group. And kind of a funny story. The drummer, sorry, Tim, I did see it pop up there, and I went, I don't know if you could see it, but good to see it, Tim. Thanks for checking in and hanging out. The drummer in essentially my first real band, when I was 19, he was 17, the guitarist was 17, and we played a lot of parties in the college town I grew up in, and played some of the little bars and whatnot.
Hi, I'm back. Yes. We just had an amazing set of power pop from the Sonny Wilsons all the way from Memphis, as Mata Hoople says. And here's a couple of members of the band right here. This is Mark Hershberger, my co-host.
Hey, Mark, what's going on, man?
On Material Issues.
Good to see you guys.
Good to meet you, man.
Nice to meet you too.
What a great.
Can you guys hear? I know
No. Especially after that.
playing. What did you ask him, Mark?
I didn't really ask anything. I said sounded like you had a killer set. You don't even look sweaty.
They said you don't even look sweaty after a killer set.
Oh my God.
You can't smell through the phone.
Yeah,
can you?
obviously.
can't see that.
No whatsoever.
Yeah, I was getting an odor.
Is this your first time in Los Angeles?
Playing.
Yeah.
First time playing, but you've been
Not
here
here.
before? How long have you been here so far?
We came out
Friday?
Friday morning.
Right.
I upgraded to captain and did my IOE out here, so I was up here last month.
Oh, all right.
We are the walking into a bar joke. He's an airline pilot. I'm a trial court judge.
Really?
Oh, Lord.
We got
Oh,
two
no.
judges and a captain and a couple of.
Alan, I may need your help at some point.
Well,
I know a lawsuit is coming.
I'm
Just find me innocent. Oh, no, I know you are.
Sorry.
Do you have a question?
No, it's just laughing over the airline pilot and trial court judge.
What am I looking at?
I'm like, take it out there.
Oh, oh yeah, we can't be in the way of the patrons here. Anyway, yeah. All right, it's a little quieter here, so go ahead.
No, it's I was just laughing at the trial court judge and the airline pilot.
walked into a bar.
Yeah,
Rock
you're
and
like,
roll show.
Well, we've been playing together since 1988, so this is not this is not our. We've been doing this for a long time, so this is our first foray in doing power pop. So
wow.
What were you doing before?
I grew up in the music business. My mom was a singer, my stepdad was a producer, so I've done all sorts of stuff.
Oh, wow.
But single acoustic, what I did mostly, and we played in a couple of bands together.
I was a hobbyist mostly. And then, 7 years ago, had a chance to sit in on a song with the Posies.
Oh, wow.
And became friends with those guys and John Hour, and that brought me into their orbit and the Big Star orbit. John produced our record and played on it.
We can't thank John Hour and the
Yeah.
Big Star Quartet bigger than anyone can thank
Yeah.
anybody. They
John's a
really
great
helped us.
guy.
Yeah, and
He's
he's
great.
really been a mentor to us and a friend, and really, I guess, a sixth member of the band.
Yeah, he's a sixth member of the band. But, we've always played somebody else's music, and now we decided, we're gonna write our own stuff, and this is what we're gonna do. And we don't go play golf at St. Andrews. This is our version of our golf trip, playing.
And who wrote most of the stuff on the album?
I would say he probably wrote a good bit of it, and I don't know, 60-40.
Oh, okay. Brand new album, by the way, by the Sonny Wilson's called Maybe.
Out by the end of the month, and we have some kind of test pressing CDs here, but it'll be out on all the streaming platforms by the end of the month.
Okay, so Bandcamp will have it and all that?
Yeah, Spotify, Apple. I do have to do one other plug. We do a music festival.
Really?
The Memphis Power Pop Festival.
Oh, my God. That's yours?
That's us.
Oh, my God.
So we have
Nice.
the Connells this year.
Oh, nice.
We're playing your academy that was supposed to play. Hopefully their singer will be recovered by
Oh,
then.
Brandon, yeah, I felt so bad.
And we were fortunate enough last year to have the second to last show of Matthew Sweet. So
Yeah, he
that
played
takes a
the show
long time
right
to get.
before he.
Oh, yeah, I bet it did.
Well, yeah. So,
Wow, where's it being held?
the Overton Park Shell, which is an old 1930s era band shell.
Oh, wow.
Part of Midtown Memphis and a lot of history. Elvis's first paid gig was there, in fact. But it's almost like going to Sun Studios when you see the pictures on the wall of all the people that grace that stage. So we're just living the dream, man.
Well, if you want to continue to live the dream, I will extend an invitation to the Sonny Wilsons to come to the Cavern Club next year to play IPO Liverpool.
We're in.
See you there.
Okay.
You got to make it.
I'll
Start
fly
saving
you.
your
I will
pennies.
fly you there. I'll start saving pennies.
Nice.
Now, I'm going to make a note and I'm going to put you on the invite list and
We will be there.
get you there. Man, both bands, I hope.
Hopefully everybody's.
Yeah, your academy is another great
Almost
thing.
indistinguishable except for another lead singer. That's really,
And one whole bunch of different songs.
and a whole bunch of different songs. A whole bunch of different songs.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
anyway,
that's
all right. Well, I've got to bring everything back in. We got to move things along. We have a tight schedule, but I'll
Mark, thank you very much for.
Good to see you. Thank you. Cheers. Best of wishes.
all right. So that was Alan and Adam from the Sonny Wilsons, all the way from Memphis. Did I get the names right? I hope I did.
Yep.
Okay. And all right, well, I'm going to head on in. The Faith Irons from LA are up next, so I'll be back.
All right. Well, that was the Sonny Wilsons that came in from Memphis, Tennessee to IPO Los Angeles at the Redwood Bar. And from what we're hearing, And what people were saying is they just did a killer set. And then you find out things like John Auer of the Posies and the whole Big Star connection is actually kind of a unofficial 5th or 6th member of their band. He wasn't there tonight, but played on their album and whatnot. And David didn't even know that, which is kind of cool. So you never know what you're going to get. David is live from the Redwood Bar in Los Angeles, International Pop Overthrow, Los Angeles. And I was just talking about, I played a track, Favorite Blunders by Popium, one of my favorite Norwegian bands. And I was talking about a little side story that I was adopted, didn't realize why I had such an affinity for Scandinavian pop music, but through all the research and et cetera that I've done, I found out that I am mostly Danish on my paternal side. So there's something in the DNA that kind of makes me love all things Scandinavian pop. But then Popium, album number 3 or 4, I think 3 maybe, an album called Camp. They had a song on that album called Sooner or Later, which I just loved, a very, very slow ballad. And my good friend, who was in my first official band where we actually played out and got money to pay to play, turns out he turned out to be one of the top music supervisors in Hollywood. He's done everything. He's done all the Farrelly Brothers movies. He's done tons of television series. He's just done very, very well. And he's a fantastic music supervisor. He was looking for tracks for this movie with Jimmy Fallon and Drew Barrymore, Fever Pitch. And I just, Popium was not on my label. I had no affiliation with them except that I'm just a big fan. And I sent a copy of that album Camp out to him. And darned if Sooner or Later from Popium didn't end up in the film, in one of the major scenes in the film, played for the longest amount of time of any track in the film. And all the other artists on the soundtrack and in the film were all major label artists. And actually, it had a reprise. It played again for another 20 seconds, which no other track did. And of course, from that moment forward, I've been very good friends with all the guys from Popium, because it was kind of a neat thing to happen. And I just happened to give my old friend and music supervisor a CD at the right moment, at the right time. That's so much of what this music business is being in the right place at the right time and having the right person hear it and something happens. So that's kind of my Scandinavian pop music story, my story with Popium and whatnot. Now, David's back in the Redwood Bar setting up for the next band. So I'm going to play another track, one of my Scandinavian favorites. This band is called the Margarets. They're a Norwegian pop band, number of albums out from 20 years ago. I'm a huge fan. They hail from an island called Giske, and forgive my pronunciation because I might have Danish, Scandinavian genes or DNA, but certainly don't speak Norwegian, Sweden, or Danish, but Swedish or Danish. But they hail from an island called Giske near Alesund. And the band, the Margarets, is named after their local postwoman. They formed in 1999 in Oslo, Norway. They started off after they formed, they kind of dropped the band name, the Margarets, became Jupiter Starfish, decided that wasn't what they wanted to be, and went back to the Margarets. And they've had 4 albums out, 2 on Universal, 2 on Division. So some major label albums in Norway. And this track is from their debut album, What Kept You. All the songs on their debut album were written 10 years before the actual release of the album. So they were old songs at that point. But this is one of my favorites, a track called Elaine Delon. And if you know old movies, you'll know that Elaine Delon was a was an actor, producer, director, singer, very popular in the 60s. But this is their track. This is the Margarets with the track Elaine Delon right here on Material Issues. That was Alain Delon by the Margarets, another one of my favorite Norwegian bands. Just fantastic. Excuse me 1 second. I was hitting the overlay button there, hit the wrong thing. But yeah, I've been a fan of the Margarets for a long time. Again, another band out of Norway that you probably never heard of here in the States, and part of just all of my love for Norwegian, Swedish, Danish, Scandinavian pop music. If you're just checking in, you don't know where that guy is, who's always over here, Mr. David Bash. He is in the Redwood Bar in Los Angeles because IPO Los Angeles is going on right now live. He checks in from time to time with some interviews. He just had a band out of Memphis, the Sonny Wilsons, who evidently did a killer set. And here's the thing. If you're anywhere near Los Angeles and thinking about going to one of the IPO LA shows, let me just pop up another media asset here. That's the poster for International Pop Overthrow Los Angeles. It's their 26th year. It's the biggest, best, and longest running pop and rock music festival in the City of Angels. So you see August 1st through the 7th, 9th, and 10th will be at the Redwood Bar, August 8th at Escondite. And here's the cool thing. If you go to International Pop Overthrow Festival, I think David told me the door is $10 at Redwood and maybe $15 at Escondite. Yeah, but here's the cool thing. You pay your $10 to get in. David has the brand new International Pop Overthrow volume 26, I think he said it was, 3 CD set, 66 songs, amazing packaging, great booklet, fantastic songs. These are all artists who are either playing IPOs this year or have played last year, but you get that for free. You walk in, you pay your $10, you get to see however many acts are on tonight, 4, 5, 6, I don't know what, it might be 5 or 6. You get to see great bands, and you get a 3 CD set for your $10 that you spent to get in. So if you're in the LA area and you feel like going out for an evening, August 1st for the 7th, 9th, and 10th, the Redwood Bar, that's West 2nd Street, LA. And then August 8th, one night they make a change because something's going on at the Redwood on the 8th. So they're at Escondite, 410 Boyd Street in LA. So between now and August 10th, there's all these shows going on. And for $10 entrance fee, you get the 3 CD IPO volume 26, the brand new volume set. David will correct me. I don't know if it's volume 26, it might be even more than that, but it's pretty amazing. So that's going on right now. That's why David's not in studio, but he will pop in live with either some introductions of a band taking the stage, or interview bands outside on the sidewalk. And if you're passing by or you're in the Redwood Bar, pop out and join David and give him a big hug and see if you get on Material Issues. But I think that'd be pretty cool. All right. So we just did that. Let's possibly let's look at some other tracks. Maybe if I can figure out what happened to my side scrolling thing here. I'll move that up there. All right. Let's see. Another favorite track of mine. Oh yeah. Well, this is one of the earliest Scandinavian pop tracks that really turned me on and lit me up. If I can get to it. Hold on. Don't know what I'm doing here. Here we go. All right. Early on, as I said, my good friend Luke Jackson out of Toronto was sending me some Scandinavian pop comps, and this was on one of the early ones, and it just blew me away. This is a band out of Sundsvall, Sweden. And their second album, Everyone's Invited, was produced by Peter Svensson of the Cardigans, which turned into a major success story and was crowned one of the year's top 5 albums by Record Collector magazine. Then a few years later, they performed at Austin's South by Southwest, which opened the door for U.S. tours and a Nordic #1 for this video. This track is called The Pilot. And this band is the Confusions, and as I said, this just a great track, one of my favorites, and I know you're going to love it. This is The Pilot by the Confusions.
Buy some clothes and buy some wine. Buy some friends and
That was The Pilot from the Swedish band The Confusions. My gosh, I saw them perform at International Pop Overthrow Liverpool. Boy, that had to be, 2006, 18 years ago. But The Confusions are still going strong. Many, many albums later. Their sound has morphed a little bit, but has grown. Very interesting band. But man, that song, The Pilot, it just killed. They killed it live. It just was. It spoke to me. That one of those first compilations I heard from my friend Luke Jackson in Toronto, and just love it. Just love it. The Confusions, The Pilot, bum 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 bum. Oh, it's a great hook. Anybody just joining us, if you don't know where the guy who's usually over here is, David Bash is live in Los Angeles at the Redwood Bar. It is International Pop Overthrow at the Redwood Bar. He will pop in randomly to the show. I don't know when he's going to do it, so I might be in the middle of something, and boom, there he'll be. We'll just go with whatever he's doing at the time. We just had an interview with the Sonny Wilsons, who came into Los Angeles at the Redwood Bar from Memphis, Tennessee. Memphis, Tennessee. Long distance information. Give me Memphis, Tennessee. But they did a killer set at the Redwood Bar. Had a nice interview with them out on the street. They've got a new album out, which are coming out. Hasn't been released yet, but can't wait to hear that. Everything I've heard about them has been very good. Our good friend John Borak is at the club there as well. We've seen him in the background of some of David's live videos. But I just talked about the history of Material Issues. One thing I did say was we're very grateful on Facebook. We have 2,000 members on our Facebook group for Material Issues. Scrolling across the bottom right now, materialissues.com. That takes you to our YouTube channel. And if you go to that YouTube channel, you'll see a couple of the tabs up at the top. I think the fourth one over says live. Well, if you click on that, it's not the live show at the moment. It actually has all of the live shows that we have archived and recorded. So with tonight's episode, we have 215 episodes. And I was talking earlier, I was going through a number of wonderful guests that we've had on various episodes. They're all out there at the archives. And we really wish you'd go over to Material Issues on YouTube and just subscribe. It doesn't cost anything to subscribe to the channel and ring the bell, which will let you know when a new show's been uploaded or when we're going live. And you can watch all the archive shows. And I went through a whole list of great stuff. And I also realized of the 215 shows, 71% of our shows have had live guests from the music business, musicians, artists, bands. We've had some athletes, Major League Baseball, Cy Young Award winner. We've had authors, actors. What else? So we've had a lot of entertainment industry people. But materialissues.com is where you can go and see all the archived shows. And again, we started this. I also did a little bit of research. We started this back in May of 2021. So it's been over 4 years, 215 episodes of Material Issues. Nary a week missed, I think. Even if I'm away or David's away, we seem to still do a week. We might have missed one. We might have taken 1 week off. But, we always try to do something every week. We've changed to Sunday nights at 8 o'clock. Tonight, start at 7 o'clock just because of IPO LA. I believe next week will be the final night of IPO LA. We might start at 7 o'clock again just so David can get some interviews in. The week after that is an IPO San Diego. Might be starting at 7 o'clock again. We will let you know with an email if you follow us on the Facebook group. We'll post something there. August 24th, we do have Chris Stamey of the DBs for round 2. We had Chris on 6 weeks ago or whatever it was, 4 to 6 weeks ago, having a great time in the interview, and all of a sudden he got part of the storm that hit Texas was coming up through North Carolina, and a down tree hit his house. So we had to kind of cut the interview short. Chris has a new album out, but he'll be back August 24th, Sunday night, August 24th at 8 p.m. After that, on August 31st, we do have an author, what'd she call herself? A rock documentarian, and an escort. Yes. Thank you, Tim, for reminding me of that. Yeah, you are right. We've had a lot of great, and an escort. I forgot. Yeah, that was episode number 96, I believe. Yeah, we did. Amy Taylor. She was actually very nice, but also extremely educated, highly educated, extremely intelligent. She had her pilot's license. She had her doctorate. And she also happened to be one of the highest paid escorts in the world. We had her on the show. If you want to see, she was a beautiful woman, but, I think more impressive was just her resume and how bright she was. Really neat. That was episode 96, I believe. Thank you, Tim, for reminding me. But yeah, we've had a lot of great guests. I talked about some of the guests who have passed away. We've had some good friends and guests on the show that are no longer with us. So it's really nice to have archived their story here on Material Issues. So yeah, we'd appreciate it if you go to materialissues.com. We'd appreciate it if you just pop in your Facebook page or your Instagram page or whatever it may be and just say, listen, got a couple friends, Mark and David, who do a great show. It's materialissues.com, and share it, pass it along, and ask them to subscribe. Again, we don't make dime one off of this. We never started it to do that. It does cost money to keep it going on StreamYard. We're not asking anybody to send us money, but if you subscribe to YouTube, if we get enough subscribers, we can actually monetize it, not with advertising on here, but in other ways. But we just haven't done that at all, and it's not necessary. But we would like to build up the YouTube side of things if we can. If not, we'll keep doing it for as long as we still have a good time and have some interesting guests. So again, David is at the Redwood Bar, International Pop Overthrow, Los Angeles. I'm sitting here in my home in South Jersey in my office, just hanging out, waiting for David to come in to do another little live thing. But while we're waiting, I'm playing some Scandinavian pop music. Here's a band. A number of episodes ago, we were playing some Stump the Bash. We were doing some things, some games we play when David's not here. We do a Stump the Bash. Tim Allen plays along with us. He's in the room tonight. How you doing, Tim? And it's always fun to play the Stump the Bash game. But we also play music quite a lot, so you get turned on by a lot of new releases, new artists. And sometimes I do bring up an artist or two, amazingly, that David had never heard of. So that happens. Matter of fact, I think that one episode, 2 months ago, was a band called Twinklehead, which was one of my favorites. And he actually got them to play, although the lead singer couldn't make it, IPO Liverpool last month. Twinklehead's still kind of together and can do things. So whenever I find a band that he's not familiar with, especially out of the Scandinavian countries, I always figure it's a nice chip on my shoulder. Here's one I'm not sure he is familiar with either. I really like them. It's a band called Leslie's. They're a Swedish pop band out of Kristianstad, started in 1993. The track I'm going to play comes from 1998, their release on Labrador Records. It's a track called Still Can't Believe. This was a track that when my daughters were young, I would play these Scandinavian pop compilations from my friend Luke Jackson. And my daughters, they were young. They were, 6 years old and 9 years old. They could sing every track on these compilations. And this was one of them. This is called Still Can't Believe by Leslie's. here on Material Issues.
Hard to deny that you came by. You left some scars there on my back. I don't know, I can't say why. I won't deny that you came by. Still can't believe you kissed me. You made me so confused. In the way we swayed. Still can't believe you kissed me. You made me so confused. In a way, as if we acted in a play. You have the attention of the class. Every time you speak your truth. I don't know, I can't say why. I won't deny that you came back. Still can't believe you kissed me. You made me so confused. In a way, in the way we swayed. Still can't believe you kissed me. You made me so confused. In a way, as if we acted in a play.
Still Can't Believe by Leslie's. Yeah, it's another band that I discovered out of Sweden. A few albums out, a few singles, but that's one that I'm not sure David is familiar with or not. But I absolutely love them, and I can recall to this day. My daughters are 30 and 26, but when they were like 6 and 10 or 9 and 5, I'd play these Scandinavian pop compilations for them, and they just sang that song. They knew every single lyric. They knew every single lyric to virtually every song on those Scandinavian pop comps, which was kind of cool because while their friends were listening to Britney Spears and whatnot, they'd be singing something by the Pendletones or any number of things like The Pilot from the Confusions or Still Can't Believe by the Leslies, which is really cool. They have an appreciation for a wide range of music. So good on you, Leslie. Still Can't Believe. That was released 1998, I believe. So my gosh, that track is 27 years old, something like that. Wow. Gotta love it. Music can take you back. So while we're waiting on David, he's out there at Redwood Bar with one more live interview. Wait, he might have just texted me right here. Can you spare a sprig of mint? Wait a second. That's not. That is. Hold on. Bear with me. I thought that was David asking for a sprig of mint, but I've got a neighbor. I didn't feel that. Forgive this 1 second. Oh, I'm in the middle of doing my live internet show with my co-host from LA. Behind my house is the pot of mint right next to the air conditioning unit. Help yourself. There you go. Live. My neighbor looking for mint. All right, while we're waiting for David, let's play a little more music. This is an artist I don't know a whole lot about. Popped up on another one of Luke's Scandinavian pop comps, and her name is La Vie. I guess it's pronounced that, La Vie. I think she's Swedish. I don't know. Love this song. Another song my daughters used to sing, especially when traveling around in the car. I think I got an EP from this artist, La Vie, but it didn't have much information on it. If you go out to the internet, there's not a whole lot of information out there on her as well. But this is a great track called Superman. I really dig it. It's just, it's pretty straightforward pop. But let's play that right now here on Material Issues. This is La Vie with Superman.
I know your name. I got it from your best friend. Well, that was then. It
Well, that is Superman by La Vie. And again, as I said, I don't have a whole lot of information on her, although I've been listening to that and a few other tracks from her for 27 or 28 years. If there's somebody out there who watches this and knows more about her, I'd be interested in knowing. But again, another one of those tracks that my daughters would sing. They knew every lyric. And just a great Scandinavian pop track. That's the beauty of music, is there is so much great music out there across all genres. I mean, we do this power pop kind of show, but you know, you get your power pop and your folk pop and your sunshine pop and your rock and roll and all these monikers you can give to it. But you know, really, really good music is just good music. And there's so much out there. When I discovered all this stuff from the Scandinavian countries that I'd never heard before, it really, it just you know, blew my mind and opened up a whole new world. And it's funny because, you know, like you take Spotify, sometimes I'll be just, I don't know, thinking of something and an artist like La Vie or the Margarets pop into my head. And I'm like, oh, I'm out for a walk in my dogs, and I'll pop up Spotify, and there it'll be. And but when you go down and do that button, it says similar to what you just listened to, and you click that, it starts bringing up all these different bands. Some you've heard of, some are in my Scandinavian pop, you know, zeitgeist, so to speak. And you know, I'll say, oh yeah, it's funny. It sounds like, but then there'll be so many artists that I have never heard of, and they might be Scandinavian, they might be out of the UK, they could be out of the US, but they sound very similar to something I was just listening to. And that's the beauty of it. You can discover so much great, and there's so much out there. You could spend the rest of your life trying to listen to everything really cool. And that's the funny thing about collecting. You know, David has, you know, probably 30,000 more CDs than I do, and I've got a lot in his collection. And you just, the psychology of collecting and why do we do it? Well, here we go. Here's David.
Yeah, this will be the last of it. We've got Shel Pierce here from Hotel Saturn, who came all the way here from Boston to play International Pop Overthrow. They're on in about 45 minutes or so. So anyway, this is Mark Hershberger, my podcast partner on Material Issues.
All right.
Good to see you. Good to see you. Have you been out to LA before? Have you played LA?
We're having fun in LA. We've had a great time.
Oh, nice.
It's gonna get better in about an hour, right?
You bet.
Yeah, we're gonna rock.
I know you will.
We're having fun, man.
Well, it's a
What
killer
it's all about at our
Sunday
age.
night.
Aren't
Yeah.
you out here for business sometimes?
No,
Oh,
no.
no.
I come out here just to vacation sometimes.
Oh, okay.
Wish I could move out here, but yeah, I don't know.
Oh, you can.
Yeah,
You want to.
it's nice. It's beautiful out here. Yeah, we're looking forward to playing our, you know, sort of power pop, rock and roll songs. You know, so far they've done pretty well on the top 100 indie radio charts. They're number 5 this week, and one of the radio stations is number 1 in LA. So we're happy with that.
That's really cool.
Time.
Congratulations on
Yeah, and it's, you know, I've known Dave for a few years. He's awesome. I played with another band, the International Pop Overthrow, and now we're doing it in Los Angeles, where it all began.
And they have a track on this year's IPO compilation, which I'm very thankful
Yeah,
for.
that's number 5 on the. And that's,
Oh, that one is?
That's
There you go.
Wrong this time. Yeah.
There you
That's
go.
on. That's on the compilation, and which I'm really proud of. Really happy. And then with that particular song is number 5 on the Indie Pop 100 this week. So
Where is it in your set?
it's put in the middle of the set.
All right, I'll pay attention because I want to video it.
Oh yeah. We'll definitely introduce it.
All right, cool. All right, well, you know what? I'm going to get going for good, partially because my phone is about to die. So I'm going to have to use Rena's phone to actually do the videos. But this was a lot of fun. Thanks as always, Mark. And you can wind things up.
Oh, good. Thanks, David. Enjoy the rest of the night, and we'll talk
Thanks.
to you this week.
You
And we'll
got
see
it.
you again for IPO LA next Sunday night. And John Borak is having a cigarette behind you. I don't know what he's doing.
All right, we'll see you later, Mark. Be good.
See ya.
Bye. Yeah.
Well, there you go. David Bash was live from the Redwood Bar, IPO Los Angeles in LA. He'll be back doing that next Sunday night. While we're here, let me just cover a couple of things happening. So next Sunday, the 10th, probably at 7 o'clock again, David will be live for the last night of IPO Los Angeles at the Redwood. The following Sunday, August 17th, David will be doing International Pop Overthrow San Diego. So we might be live at 7 o'clock again doing that. After that, we return to David in his house studio, myself here in South Jersey. And we've got a guest, actually a repeat guest, because the first time we had him on about 6 weeks ago, we started the interview. It was going great. We're having a great time. And then they had a major storm pushed up from Texas, hit North Carolina, and a tree fell on his house. We're not really exactly sure the whole story. We'll get that. But so we had to cut that interview short. But Chris Stamey of the DBs will be back for the full interview and to talk about his brand new fantastic album. That'll be on August 24th. Then after that, on August 31st, probably back at our normal 8 o'clock time, just like the Chris Stamey 8 o'clock Eastern. We've got an author, Jude Warne, Warne. She calls herself a rock biographer, rock documentarian. But she's done books on Boz, Skaggs, and on the band America. So we're going to do something a little different, have an author on, again, on material issues. So again, I've been running across the bottom. Materialissues.com is the YouTube site. Please go over there and subscribe. Doesn't cost you anything. Hit the bell, lets you know when a show has been archived. You can check out all the archives, 215 shows, if you hit the live button. Yeah, best of luck at David in the upcoming week. Yes, indeed, Tim. Great to have you here, as always, Tim. Whenever you can stop by, appreciate it. But yeah, subscribe at Material Issues. Watch all the archives. A lot of great guests on there. I'm going to wrap it up tonight. I think I'm going to play one more song before we take it out of here. Let's see here. I've been playing a lot of my favorite Scandinavian pop music. Let's do, since David is in Southern California, Los Angeles at the Redwood Bar, and he had a band there play tonight called the Sonny Wilsons, which had a Beach Boys connection. Here's one of the bands that I did turn David onto that he had not heard of before. This is one of my favorite Scandi bands of all time. They're called Spencer, and I don't have a lot of information on them either. Some of these bands are hard to find information on, but this is really a great track, great band. So here is a song called Beach Boys by a band called Spencer. Everybody have a great night. We'll check in one final time to say good evening, but thanks for hanging out here on Material Issues.
This pile of broken records is all that's left of you and me. A sad musical memento of all that used to be. I never met your standards. I'm used to plain and ordinary. And compared to Mr. Wilson, there's nothing cool about me. Wish I were like the Beach Boys. Yes, I do. I wish I were like the Beach Boys. They are so cool. Wish I were like the Beach Boys. Then I might tell you again. You always try to change me by pointing out that I'm such a clown. Out of your remarks did upset me. It's you leaving me that's bringing me down. Wish I were like the Beach Boys. Yes, I do. Wish I were like the
I just unmuted myself. That was Beach Boys by the great band Spencer. One of my favorite tracks. They did, what was the other track they did? Oh, Here Comes the Coast Guard. Oof, also a great power pop track. Thank everybody for hanging out with us tonight. David was doing International Pop Overthrow Festival live from the Redwood Bar. He'll be there through the 10th. I believe August 8th, they're doing one night at Escondido in Los Angeles. So if you're in the LA area, go check out all the shows at Redwood or the one show at Escondido for your entrance fee, which I think is $10 cover or maybe $15 at Escondido. Not only do you see all these great bands, but you get a free 3 CD IPO set, 66 songs on there. It's all part of the cover fee. You get it for nothing. So stop by, say hello to David. We thank everybody for hanging out tonight. Have a great night. We'll see you next Sunday night, probably at 7 o'clock, but we'll send the notification out on Facebook and YouTube to let you know, because David will be live on the final night of IPO Los Angeles, the Redwood Bar. But we'll see you again soon. Love to everyone. Have a great night, everybody.